Hello and welcome to my show that you've been waiting for on making raw fudge brownies that are to die for. Well, for me they are. I love chocolate, and I know a lot of other people love chocolate. My vanilla bean ice cream that I have a video of has raw chocolate brownie chunks in it, and so I've been getting requests, please, when are you going to do the raw brownie chunks? So here, I'm doing it today. I'm going to show you how. Another recipe I made up because I have to satisfy my food cravings somehow. I eat probably 3 of these raw brownies a day, 2 or 3. Raw cacao powder is the highest antioxidant food that exists. That was very good news for me to hear, that I need to be eating chocolate, but I needed to find a healthy way to eat my chocolate. I don't want high sugar amounts. I don't want anything bad in there. Right now I'm putting a cup of raw almond butter. These are high in fat, but you're only eating a few, and it's good fat, so don't be afraid. And they are also high in protein. I'm going to use some hemp seeds, and I'm using the almond butter, and so you're going to get protein, and the chocolate's not going to have too much of a stimulating effect, although it will, but the fat and the protein will help counter that. I'm just going to wash this almond butter off my hand real quick. You do need a freezer for these brownie chunks because they're just not going to keep. I keep them in the freezer and I take them out for about 3 minutes, 5 minutes before I eat them, and they soften up super fast. I am going to use 2 cups of raw hemp seeds. These are super high in protein, so this is actually a great way to get your antioxidants and your protein. I usually eat them after lunch. Sometimes I just feel like I need something yummy and sweet after lunch. I do need to find some other yummy things to eat because it's probably not good to be always eating the same thing every day, but I tend to do that because I'm busy. I have 4 children. I don't have a lot of time to think about what I'm going to eat, and I don't have a ton of time to plan. And then, whoops, I didn't get this out. I'm going to do 1 cup of almond meal. This is a great thing to use as flour. I get mine at Trader Joe's if you're in the US. It's just raw almond meal. You can make your own just by putting almonds in a Cuisinart. It's really easy to make that way too. You just have to be careful not to turn them into almond butter, because if you don't pulse it and you just let it go, it'll turn into almond butter on you. Then I'm going to do a vanilla bean, and if you don't know how to do a vanilla bean, I will show you. This is a whole vanilla bean. You just take a knife and place the knife in the center, lay it flat, place the knife in the center, and you just want to cut halfway through it. Well, actually, cut all the way through the vanilla bean. And inside are thousands of tiny little seeds, and you just, if you have a fingernail, that's a good thing to use. Otherwise, you could use like a spoon or something. And you just scrape the seeds out. And that just smells so good. I love the smell of vanilla beans. This one I didn't quite get all the way cut open, so I'm gonna just open it a little more. Kind of messy, but pretty simple. I didn't know how to do this. I had to go online the first time I did this, so I thought I would show you. So you're just trying to get all those seeds out of there. Fling them in. I'm using this instead of vanilla. You could use vanilla. I'm on a no sugar diet, and I'm just not sure if vanilla has, I think it has some alcohol, unless you get the glycerin vanilla. I'm just not sure what mine has in it because I got it from the milk section. Fill up my own container with it. Okay, and now I'm going to use a cup of xylitol, which is what I'm using right now because it has 0 sugar. It's safe for diabetics. So these brownies you could make for your diabetic friend. Or you could be really nice and tell them about a raw food diet and they could get rid of their diabetes. If you haven't seen Simply Raw, the DVD, it's a documentary that they did, Gabriel Cousins at the Tree of Life Rejuvenation Center in Arizona. They did a study. They took 6 people that had diabetes and put them on a raw diet for 30 days. And I believe every one of them was off their medication, I think in like 4 days. It was amazing. And they all lost like 30 or 40 pounds in a month. They felt so good. There was a type 1 diabetic, and he cheated the whole time, so he was drinking alcohol and sneaking it. And so anyway, if you have diabetes or know anyone who does, go and look for Simply Raw. I got it at the library. You have to wait a while because it's very popular. I did 3 scoops of stevia, and then I am going to do half a teaspoon of cinnamon. Maybe if I have any left, I do. Excuse me, didn't get everything out. I'm not a professional. Okay, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, a little more for, I don't know, it's anti-inflammatory, it's good stuff for you. And then I am going to put some water in. I'm just going to do about a cup of water. What I do with these, I stick them in my dehydrator for a few hours, and then I put them in the freezer. I'll show you all that, but I keep these in the freezer. I just stir that up a little bit, and then I'm going to add 3 cups of raw cacao powder. Oh God, and they're so good. Although I did have a friend taste them the other night, and she didn't think they were very sweet. So if you like really sweet, you might want to use a cup of agave nectar and half a cup of maple syrup instead of xylitol. That would be a good alternative sweetener if you don't mind using agave. Gabriel Cousins, who I learn a lot from, doesn't like agave because it actually does raise your insulin levels more than they say, I guess. And then, I don't know, there's some questions about agave nectar right now. I would certainly use it if I were eating sugar, or I'm just off sugar right now. Just be careful that you get good organic raw agave nectar and kind of check your source and everything. I guess in some of the agave nectar they're actually adding corn syrup and some crazy things that I heard about that if you're trying to eat healthy you don't want. So I'm just going to really get this stirred up and mixed well. It's going to need at least another cup of water. I like to use really pure water. Pure water and pure air are very important, as well as leaving lots of certain things out of your diet. If you want to be healthy, the first place to start is getting rid of refined sugars and processed carbohydrates. When you do that, maybe go get some colonics, get your colon cleaned out, you'll be on the right track. Then you can start adding lots of raw foods into your diet and learn maybe how to sprout, get a bunch of greens in there, some chocolate, and you'll be looking good as far as your health goes. Okay, I'm going to need another cup of water. This is drier than I remember when I made it, but when I made it, I was just making it up as I went and I didn't write down how much water I put in.